Good morning, good morning. Greetings, good morning. Time for Under's Morning Tea Chat. Let's talk about your color. What color are you? How are you living this morning? How are you coloring this morning? And let's have conversation about what color looks like in your life. So this morning, that's what I want to share with you. We're going to talk about color. If you've noticed that we have had a colorful time here, and I've changed the color of the morning tea chat just because I just want to remind everybody about living in color. So I'm Andrea Merriman, your creative harmony coach and master domestic violence help coach, bringing you conversations around disrupting the normalcy of domestic violence. And what I want to share with you this morning is all about living in color. And I came up with that because, as most of you may know, I am going to be speaking next week in Girl It's Your Life tour in Atlanta. And so one thing, if I have anybody, good morning, Doretta. Her color is yellow this morning. Energized. Woo, woo, woo. And so this morning, as we look at this, um, next week, starting in Wednesday, Girl It's Your Life tour, the virtual piece of it comes on, and then the rest of it, all of it is going to be brought to you to your living room. So you can have conversation around the colors that you're looking at. And this morning, I want to really talk to you about the loss of color so that you'll be ready to get your color back next week. Now, you can get a 5-day ticket for less than $20 for $19.99. If you're on my Facebook page, I put the link in the comments, in the title. But what I'm going to do for those of you who are watching me on Periscope, or if you're catching this on the YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and put in the comment section the link to get your ticket. Because you can get your ticket for, like I said, $19.99 for 5 days. So let's talk about color. So first thing I want to talk about is, if you've been through domestic violence or sexual assault or traumatic event, or something has really divorced, something has changed your life and just kind of stripped you of color, then you're probably one of those people who you're getting drawn to the earthy colors, the black colors, and not the earth tones that just kind of make you focused on what you're doing. But I'm talking about the drab looking colors, because that's how you're feeling. Even though you're trying to get things back, you're trying to get your life back, you're like I was when I first started, for so many reasons, because my self-esteem was low and those feelings. So I thought if I dressed in black, when I changed from black, I went to dark brown, the chocolates and those type, because I thought that I could move into the back of the room, gather the information I needed, but not be out there, not be bold, not be boisterous, not really live into the purpose I was, although I said I was, but I kept retreating back. That's part of that self-sabotage thing we do when we're pulling ourselves away from what we know we need to be doing because we don't want to be seen. So I want you to I want you to really analyze and think about where you are with what colors you're drawn to and what that means to you. Look at those colors. You may even want to make a chart of colors and talk about what they mean to you. Or you may look and just do some research on what normally, like Doretta tells us this morning, she's feeling yellow. She can see the yellow. She's feeling energized. She's feeling the energy flowing through her purposeful energy flowing through her. So we know that you can see, if you talked about her aura and the things around her, the yellows would be around with her. She looks beautiful in leather. If you go grab Doretta, her name is Doretta Gadsden, please go check out her Facebook page. And then also go look at her YouTube channel because you can see her in the yellow. The yellows look beautiful on her. Everybody can't wear those colors. They drab me out. At least that's my thought. And that's also because, remember, I told you I was drawn to the blacks and the burgundies and the chocolates and all those because I thought that being overweight, one, it would make me not be seen, but it wasn't even really the physical overweight that causes us to have those drab colors. It is the mental overweight, the mental anguish. This is so true. Before therapy, all I wear was brown, black, dark maroon. Now I'm in yellows, plums, purples. Like, see, she's living proof that you need to live in your colors. And so that's what I was doing. Everything I saw, I didn't want flashy flowers or shapes or anything because I thought that it would make me be seen and stand out. And it's so strange because when I started going into therapeutic transformation and started thinking about who I was and walking boldly into my purpose, walking into the things that God had ordained me to do, ministering to those that are are serving others, helping victims become thrivers. I mean, just the whole piece of it, of feeling good about who I am, whose I am, and who He is, and all of that. So I want you to really look at what color you're feeling today. How are you living? How are you living? Are you living in those drab colors that we know that are holding you back? Are you attracted to those colors? Are you looking at like the picture that I have here with the purples and pinks and yellows and the bright vivid colors? Are you living your life in vivid color? If you're not living in those vivid colors, if you're saying I like them but I don't want to wear them, they look better on somebody else, but I might not be able to. So what I want you to do is I want you to click one of the links below that takes you to bit.ly/GIYL Andrea. So GIYLANDREA bit.ly, girl, it's your life, Andrea. So I want you to take your time, go there. 19.99. Come on, that's the price of one going out and grabbing your food and going back home because it's COVID time. I mean, that's a good meal. Grab your drink, grab your everything, because I want you to get out of those colors. I want you to get out of that place to where you're thinking the maroons and the dark blues, and you're thinking that you're adding color, but you're adding um, dark blue. You didn't add a color. You just changed the color of the black, because see, the black is the absence of color. And that's how we feel when we're so drawn into that. It's the absence of our life, the absence of the things that we think that we can hide, the things that's keeping us sabotaging ourselves, the things that's keeping us from growing and glowing into who we need to be and who we should be. I want you to start looking at those colors, start absorbing. Thank you for this topic. You are welcome. So be mindful, as she said, yes, be mindful of the colors you're drawn to. When, and I talk about servant leaders being in a space of understanding when you're dealing with vicarious trauma. Because if you are someone who are serving, and I tell you all the time, if you show me a good leader, I'll show you a good servant. Because they understand when it's time to lead and when it's time to adhere to what needs to be happening for the people they serve. So when you're doing that, when you're listening, when you're attentively listening to other people's trauma, whether it is a major something that you would think would be, or if it's something that's major in their life, when you're listening to these horror stories, when you're listening to these sad stories, when you're listening to the things that people have been through, you absorb it. And most leaders that are in the domestic violence arena or in there serving people that's been through some type of event, Your empathy is pulling in, and you're wanting to own it, and you're wanting to take their pain and fix it for them. You're living through their pain vicariously. So what happens with that is you also absorb that trauma. You also absorb in the things that they've been through in their feelings. So what you start doing is you start carrying out living with the safety mechanisms as if you lived through that trauma. I find myself doing it all the time, and you'll see that it may be that you walk outside and you used to just walk to your car, flip it on, check it, get in there. Now you're going out and you're going cautiously and you're looking and you're wondering if that person is coming. And it's just so many things that we do so unconsciously because of the trauma we've dealt with. And then when we empathize and pull in other people's trauma, we embed that trauma into our unconscious also. So I want you to think about that. No, I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist, or any type of medical profession. I'm a woman who have dealt with and lived with and listened to a lot of trauma, and I see the changes that it makes in the people that are around me and the people I serve. So I want you to take what I'm saying as a seed and then go and research and speak to your therapist and your medical profession with that. And so I want you to take what I'm giving you as a seed, but I want you to start being mindful of the colors that you bring into your life, mindful of the release of how you feel when you're dealing with colors as opposed to when you're going into the blacks and the dark colors and just not carrying out the things that you should be doing. So I want you to think about that today. You know, I only keep you for a quick time this morning. I want to also invite you back tomorrow. It's going to be super exciting. I'm going to have one of my good friends, Katrina Thomas, with me tomorrow talking about how she's living in color and talk about all the great things she's doing in her community where she's pulled herself up from the darkness of the colors in her life, and now she's living vividly and living her best life, serving as she should and taking care of herself. So please just join me tomorrow. I have Katrina Thomas in with me tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Also, go ahead, bit.ly/GIYLANDREA and get your ticket for Girl It's Your Life tour, because girl, it's time for you to take back your life, put some vivid color in your life, and share it with those around you so they can see you grow and glow in the boldness of your mission. I'm Andrea Merriman, your creative harmony coach, master domestic violence help coach, bringing you Andrea's morning tea chat. Until we meet again tomorrow, I pray that you have hope, harmony, and happiness in your life. Bye for now.